daily spending could be less than what you're spending in Singapore. The shortest was about maybe a month before I travel. Sometimes, you want to drink more, bring home.
Hi guys, welcome to Coffee Tea Money Talks. Today we have Apple, Kirian and Monica and myself Ben, and we'll be talking about solo traveling.
I think something interesting is that four of us here have a fair share of experience traveling solo.
Yes.
So we have our special guest here who is a female traveler solo. So I think it's always very interesting for females to actually travel solo. And I think in terms of safety is something that all of us are cautious about for female travelers, right? Maybe you share with us, what are the countries or what are exotic countries that you actually travel alone? And I think from there we can actually have a sense of how adventurous you are. So I think everybody will be a little bit more excited about your journey as well.
Sure. I think exotic countries, I would say that it really depends on individual. A lot of places can be exotic. Some people will say that Bali is exotic, even Malaysia or even Singapore. It really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I think. Having interest of the place, I think is most important.
True.
The curiosity of being in that new place, I think that's important as well. So what makes my places that I have been exotic is really the new experiences. So it really doesn't matter which part of the country. I always try to find something that is different for me.
What really excites you in terms of experience? What kind of experience are you actually seeking out for?
I think a lot of it is culture. Really different culture, different people that you meet, understanding how they live their life. I think it's a lot of the time that's very interesting for me.
That really, excite you.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Because you'll learn a lot of new things every time you go to a new place. Even to the simplest thing like how they talk to each other, how they communicate, what kind of. Food is one of also nowadays I think one of the main things, right, that people go for. But I think for me it's really the experience connecting with the people locally.
And what is the most memorable, experience that you have so far traveling solo?
I would say really the new people that I meet, like suddenly out of the blue, like you wouldn't expect sometimes that you meet new people and you connect with them. So sometimes when I'm traveling, I don't expect to, make friends immediately, but there are times when you are actually alone and you actually open yourself up a little bit more, and then that's when you actually get to connect more to people.
Do you normally stay in a hostel when you travel solo, or do you actually book like an apartment?
Depends where I'm going.
Depends
on the country. If I feel that the country is safe enough, I don't mind being a little bit more adventurous with the places that I stay. It could be a motel or it could be an Airbnb, and really have to make your research. Depends. And sometimes if you feel that the country is not very safe, then maybe you want to opt for things like hotel, because hotel then there's always going to be somebody at the lobby. When you go in and out, there's always a checkout time as well. If people were to follow you, it's not as easy as let's say you are staying in an Airbnb, for example.
I think since all of us are solo travelers, right? Why not we actually share the experience of where do we actually explore as our first travel solo? How about yourself, Ben? Maybe you share a bit. Where exactly the first time you...
First time was Hong Kong, but let's skip that. Let's go to Japan, which is my current second home. So I'm the kind of traveler that I don't really seek new experiences in the way where I don't need to go to a new country. I keep going back to Japan, I think 4 times so far this year. Yes. So about 4 times. So
this year, 4 times already.
So with family alone, that's about and friends. So for me, I'm okay to go back to the same country because Japan is safe, like very safe. So and as a guy, safety is not really a main thing lah.
What actually excites you to go back to the same place?
Drinking, eating, shopping, because it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper because alcohol in Singapore is taxed heavily. So when I go to Japan, it's like wow.
So you enjoy the drinking culture?
I enjoy the eating. I now enjoy the eating portion. Yes. Now it's not so much about. I still meet friends. No, actually I do have a story about how I met up with. I got to know a local Japanese guy not off the street, but from a drinking spot. And then we actually became friends, and I still visit him, and we go for drinks in Japan.
I see.
Yeah. So
when is the first time you actually met this friend of yours?
2020?
2020.
No, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
And then you're connected through social media. And
no, social media. Yes, we use apps, but I normally just tell him that I'm coming over. Are you free?
That's very nice.
And then we just go out for drinks.
Yeah.
So to me, that is what I seek for in a holiday.
Sure. Monica, how about you? Where do you actually go to for your first solo?
To be honest, I can't remember.
Too many, is it?
And you know, it's an interesting question, and this is something that people asked me before. So when you say traveling solo, there's a few definitions to that. Are you saying that if I were put aside for work, right?
Yes.
Are you meeting somebody maybe halfway through and then you do your own stuff? Or are you really traveling solo? You're not gonna meet anybody that you know. So I feel that now there's a fine line between that. It could be somebody is traveling maybe from the US, meeting you halfway, for example, in Europe, and then you're traveling from Singapore. But you might not share the whole entire travel on your own, but it still counts as solo. I just realized that. Hence, that's why I can't answer you when is my first trip.
Solo, you're not meeting anyone, you're probably going to meet someone new.
Wow.
And yeah, correct.
That would be recent years actually. Yes, in recent years.
Where is it?
And that was in Barcelona.
Barcelona?
Yes, that's right. That was my very first time going, really thinking I will be really on my own. There's no plan meeting anybody. But you know what, the most interesting things is that I actually met a lot of people, and we actually hang out quite a lot during my trip there. And it's not just like a one time drinking or eating, you know,
it's
and then you're fine. So you become friends, and actually I kept in touch with them until today.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very interesting that you don't go there with expectation.
Right? There are a lot of even online talking about how we should be a little bit more aware about the pickpockets in Barcelona. As a solo traveler, do you actually have some precautions coming to that?
Or do you have an experience being pickpocketed?
Thankfully, I don't have that experience.
That's good.
And precaution, definitely. I got a lot of warnings from a lot of my friends. My friends keep saying, please keep your bag safe, please keep your important things safe. So I went there with this pre-notion of, like being really, really dangerous. But then I realized that, hey, it's not, and all you need to do is to really keep safe. And what I usually do is that I will always find out where I'm going, where I'm staying. I think that's the first thing that you need to do. And then, of course, when you're carrying things, don't carry too much cash. Nowadays, we use a lot of cards, So carry only one card with you. That's with me. I think that's my rule of traveling. Carry one card only with you. Keep another one in the hotel. Just in case that it goes missing, be it that it fell somewhere, you always have a backup. And credit card is the safest in that sense that you can always cut it at any point in time. You can dispute. And you can dispute any charges because it's true that you lose it and then somebody else will use it. You only and it's very fast. You just log in or call and then say I want to cancel the card. And cash, if you really need cash at certain places, just bring one note, that's it. And then I always, you guys have this small little pocket in your jeans sometimes. I'll just put it there and I walk without big bags, without anything. I only have my phone and maybe power bank just to keep my day.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's all really, just to keep it safe.
But one more thing to check with you, right, Monica? Since you have been traveling quite frequently, right? Do you actually book your accommodation or do you plan out the whole set of itinerary before you go travel, or do you free and easy?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Depending on season. So if it's very, very high season, don't do that. Because, unless you don't mind spending extra. I did that before where I don't actually book the entire accommodations. Only because that I want to be more flexible with the city that I'm visiting. So you have the main ones, like for example, if you were to travel to a country and then you're traveling to 6 different cities, you may want to book the ones that you know that you will be there at certain date. But the rest, if you're okay with it, you travel as it is and you booked it. I've booked the night before, so it's fine.
On the days.
Yes, so there will always be accommodation, I believe. Unless you go to a really, really secluded area, then you may want to book in advance just in case you really have nowhere else to stay. But in big cities, I always say that if you can be flexible, be flexible. You never know where it brings you. And sometimes, booking last minute doesn't mean it's expensive. At certain season, it actually can be cheaper because they do slash their price.
Correct.
And if it's not fully booked.
And you get to meet different kinds of people as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
About other risk management, like you go other country, maybe the weather is different. How about you fall sick? How about like you're not well during the travel? You alone, you don't know how to contact, you don't know people that in that country. So how you manage this?
I always have my little pouch of emergency medicine. So always have charcoal pill with me. Although I would always like to think that I have an iron stomach, so I haven't had to use those charcoal pills. Painkillers, I always bring that with me. Other than that, is your little like Panadols and things like that, because you'll be surprised a lot of countries don't actually sell Panadol freely. So you bring those things that you think you may need. And I learned in recent years as well that travel insurance is very important for me. I mean, some people who doesn't mind being, going to the doctor or whatever. I mean, the US, for example, is really, 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 really expensive. Even if you just have a cough, and that happens to me. When I go to the counter to buy like just normal cough medicine, it doesn't work because it's just not strong enough. You need to go to the doctor, get a proper prescriptions. So that doesn't work well for me. So I was suffering throughout the whole entire trip. But then, I think as long as you keep healthy and, like a lot of the times you are sick either because of the food or the weather. So if it's the weather, something you can control, wear more, bring appropriate clothing just to keep your body in the right condition.
Like you said, when I'm young, right? At first I was like, wow, travel insurance not important. I'm very healthy, very young, 20 plus only. Got one trip that changed my mind forever. I went to Genting alone. Then I drink too much, drink. After that, I sore throat, I hot and cold, I cannot tahan, right? So I go to the lobby resort hotel, I remember. They asked where to find a doctor. So okay, they guide me to see the clinic, small clinic. The doctor only checked me 5 minutes. Okay, 600 ringgit.
Oh dear Lord. I don't think that's right though, because they probably know you're a foreigner. So, but that happens a lot in other countries as well.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's out of sudden, and I wake up, why I have this feeling? That's why after that, more or less, I will definitely buy. Yeah.
$600.
Wow, that's quite a fair bit of money.
That's a lot of money.
So Monica, just to check, right? I mean, since you have been, traveling extensively, right? What is actually at your top of your bucket list right now? Something that really, excite you and
I really want to go to some of the countries in Africa. So Kenya, Cape Town maybe. So
safari.
Correct. Morocco. So all these places that I haven't been to before, I would like to think that these are the more exotic places. For me, again, personally, I feel that those are more exotic. But I do want to go to South America as well.
South America.
So that's I think some of these places needs a little bit more planning, especially as a solo female travelers. Just because I feel, we have seen news and reports and things to happen a little bit more frequently. In terms of danger and all. So I think just need a little bit more planning. Shouldn't deter anyone to still want to go to those places. I think if you get a great experience, it would be wonderful. And it's once in a lifetime kind of experience.
So you mentioned about South America as well, right? And I think in the conversation that we had, a brief conversation that we had earlier on, right? You mentioned about going to Brazil as well, and you have friends over there, is it?
Yeah.
So I mean, how do you actually manage to get to know the locals there?
So I do have a few friends in town here who are from different background. Same goes when I was studying last time as well. These are the friends that I made throughout my life. So
they happen to be staying there.
That's right.
I think going to that South America area with a little bit more local bringing you around and looking after you, I think that will puts you a lot more safer, right, I believe.
Definitely.
Because we have definitely heard a lot of stories about that area. I think that's also one area that I always wanted to go to.
Yep.
Whether is it like Argentina, Chile, Brazil, Bolivia. I think this is also a few places that is inside my top bucket list.
That's wonderful. We should do it soon. I feel like one thing that with traveling, I think if we can do it when we are younger, especially the further one, I think that there's a lot of energy in doing all these things, especially the more adventurous countries. Yeah.
True, because personally, I think for me, I prefer like trekking, hiking. So I mean, I have to do it when I'm younger lah.
but I mean, I have seen people who are, you know, probably my dad's age as well, traveling and really having big adventure themselves, because of course they are very fit and all. And I hope that I will still be fit by that age and I still want to travel. And I think that will be wonderful.
I think one very interesting question that I maybe want to ask, you know, is that, you know, as everybody knows, right, traveling will probably be a little bit more costly. And how do you actually, you know, start to save on a daily basis, or how do you plan your trips in terms of budgeting as well, you know?
I think the biggest ticket items, I would say the ticket itself and accommodation. Yeah. The rest of the items, you take it as if you're spending it in your country. It's the same. And being in Singapore, I think that's an advantage because sometimes the daily spending could be less than what you're spending in Singapore. So really, you're looking into saving for your tickets as well as for your accommodations. And these are the two main tickets. Otherwise, the rest of the things would be just pretty much similar.
I just plan very early advance, like 6 months, 8 months, so I can get a much cheaper ticket.
But nowadays the air tickets are. It used to be like before pre-COVID, it was like 6 months, 9 months out. The ticket is like as cheap as it gets. Now at 6 months, it's still relatively expensive, and you're pushing towards the 9 months or even 1 year in advance, which is ridiculous lah.
I agree. Yeah.
No, because for me, because I keep going to Japan, right? Then I noticed like pre-COVID, I could fly there SQ about 600. I mean, if I do 3 months to 4 months ahead. Now it's like even 3 to 6 months ahead. You're looking at 900, and then if it's peak, it's 1,200.
Wow.
So it's so I have to downgrade and do like budget.
But some country is like opposite side, like Hong Kong. Recently, I just came back. Ticket is cheap. All the rest is very expensive.
The food is Hong Kong went up.
And how long, like how early in advance do you book all this?
The long haul one, I tried to book earlier.
How early is it?
The last time I did was actually probably the shortest was about maybe a month before I traveled.
Okay, that's closer to what I always do.
Yeah, so I don't like to. I'm pretty last minute person in that sense. So I don't really book my stuff 1 year in advance. Let's say my friends say, hey, let's go somewhere next September. I say, okay, you let me know when. I will only buy my tickets like maybe July or August, very last minute. Just because, you know, you want to keep your options open. The short haul one is even more ridiculous. I've done like, I'm flying tomorrow morning, tonight I only buy my ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the short haul one. So I've done that before. So and it's not like it's not too expensive, of course. I mean, depends. If you really want to go somewhere and it's not ridiculous like 20 times than its usual price, just go, enjoy your life. I feel like we should enjoy our life. I mean, I love traveling, so.
Can tell that you are always seeking for experience and you don't mind spending a little bit more to get that experience, right?
Yep.
And I think we also want to, you know, pick your brains a little bit more. As a female traveler, right, what are some of the things that, you know, you probably be a little bit more careful when, especially if you are traveling to places that you have heard stories and is deemed to be a little bit more dangerous and not safe for females? What are the precaution things that you will probably do?
For myself, because I do drink, right? And I enjoy drinking.
Okay,
so
that puts you in the
high risk.
So I am always very cautious when I'm traveling on my own. If it's daytime, I will tend to be alright, a little bit more relaxed with my surrounding.
Okay.
Still cautious. At night, I think this is another thing. I think this brings back to my traveling when I went to Barcelona.
Okay.
I found out that the area I was staying used to be a red light district area.
Oh.
It's one of the most, but it's okay, it's good, and you know, I mean, like,
but you didn't know
I didn't know. I didn't know until I met locals. They said, "Where do you stay?" I said, "This area," and then they said, "Do you know that those places are pretty rampant with stuff?" I said, "Oh, I didn't know," but I didn't feel anything for the first few days. You know, I think it's really how you feel about your surrounding. So for me, if it's drinking means at night, I will cap myself to like 2 glasses maximum. Right?
So you have a control.
Yes.
in terms
So
of
I
how much-
control and make sure that I'm really, really sober. It's not even like feel good, you know,
Okay.
like sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
you want to drink more, bring home, right? So you still can drink more. Don't go dark alley. I mean, that's, I think, number 1.
Okay,
Even
that's
for
number one,
men,
yeah.
please don't go dark alley. I mean, it's not about only female.
Yeah.
Female, a lot of it also physical and all, right? You're a bit worried. You are probably, sometimes we are, I don't want to say we are weaker in that sense, but somehow if you're smaller size and all, you get, you know, you'll
puts
be...
you in a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but with men as well, if you go to dark alley, you'll invite people who will rob you and all, you know, and that's it, you know, right? But I feel that avoid those things.
Okay.
And if you feel somebody's following you, and it happened to me before,
Wow.
you felt with me daytime or nighttime, just go to a crowded area. Go to somewhere, if you can see a female in that you know, new shops or whatever, just talk to them as if, you know, and tell them quietly that, you know, you feel like you're unsafe, you know, somebody's following you, can I hang out here for a bit with you? You know, most of the time...
When was that?
Oh, that was a while back. That was actually in Malaysia, when I was very new to Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt, and that was daylight actually.
Wow.
So I felt somebody following me for quite some time. I took the public transport and all,
Okay.
and I actually quickly walked up to this lady and I said, "Hey, can I just walk next to you as if you're my friend?" You know, I felt somebody's following me. So she said, "Okay, fine." So we walked together until to the next,
And
the next
this is the only time that you felt.
that was the only time,
Okay,
but you do feel, you know, sometimes when you travel at night, especially, you do know certain crowd when they're drunk or whatever.
Too
You know,
rowdy.
you try not to go to that area. You just avoid. You know, there'll be people catcalling and things like this. With ladies, I think that's pretty common. You just have to don't engage at all. Just walk away, because the moment they engage and they don't know what they're doing, right? So they will, yeah.
Do you restrict yourself? What time do you have to? You know,
No, I don't. I want to enjoy my time, so I will go if I have to go drinking. I'll make sure that there's always a safe transport home. I think don't walk in the middle of the night. Take a cab. You know, make sure you book the cab and not just hail the cab, for example.
Do you have, like, you know, do you tell your friends in Singapore that, you know, I'm going drinking, you know, if I'm not contactable, please, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Do
I do that, especially if I know the place is gonna be a little bit more messy. Yeah, I will do that. But otherwise, during daytime, I'll just walking around. That's it.
For
Yeah.
her, you can control. For me, I can control. I know once I start, right, I cannot stop one. So for myself, I just hotel lobby.
That's right. Exactly. Good idea. Yeah, hotel lobby is
Yes.
great.
Keep yourself
Yeah.
in a safe environment. I think that's more important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks, Veronica. Thanks, Monica, for this. But what is one last tip that you have for, you know, female travelers or even travelers that wants to start traveling solo? What is one biggest tip that you can give to our audience over here?
Research. Don't go crazy, like plan your full itinerary from hour to hour, but just do the research. I think that's most important. Where you're going. I think another thing that people forget is also sometimes doing research about the culture. You want to make sure that you do not disrespect people, because different culture has different way of doing things, you know. I mean, so far it has been good for me. I think culturally we understand why certain people do certain things, but you know, you want to avoid faux pas, things that you say what are not nice. You know, you just have to pick up a little bit of that, and I think you'll be, you know,
Be a
you'll
little
have
more aware,
exactly, and you will enjoy your time. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for Monica for sharing her experience. Of course, Ben and Apple for sharing their experience as well. So if you like more contents like this, do like, share, and subscribe. Cheers.
Hey! Right now, for promotion, 50% cash rebate for all our viewers. Kieran, what's that?
So if you are looking to, you know, purchase some form of term insurance, or you already have your term insurance, maybe it's time to do a review.
50% cash rebate. Okay, see you guys.
Cheers.